Glenna, oh my goodness. Hi.
Sarah, what's
Hello.
up?
Oh man, so happy to be here with you. You are our administrative director at Soulbird, but you're a million other things. I'm so pumped to talk to you. And just for our listeners, Glenna was you were a little nervous about this chat. So everyone is flapping their wings at you right now. We're happy to hear from you. I know folks are going to be pleased to get to know you a little bit more than just signing off on an email. So, Glenna, I would like to just start with just gratitude. We found each other on Indeed.com. I can't believe it. It was so you were just plucked from the internet heavens, and your journey to us was vibrant and full, and you're coming to us with a lot of passions, a lot of skills. So, who are you? How are you? Welcome. We'd love to hear a little more about you and what brings you to this work.
Awesome. Well, I am excited and nervous to be doing this. I think it's funny because I'm usually the one editing the flocking together videos and putting them together, but now I'm on the screen. But yeah, I got into Soulbird looking for like administrative position because I was just really looking for a change for my mental health, my physical and emotional, mental health, all the things. I was a preschool teacher for about 15 years. And that last year I ended up becoming the director during the pandemic. And that was the craziest year of my life. Probably have a bunch of gray hairs here because of it. And I'd always really jived with logistics, and I loved doing all those tedious things that often like other teachers and assistants like didn't like to do. But I always felt like, you know, teachers are just get put in this position. It's so impossible to do the work that they want to do because they have all these constraints on their time and how they're supposed to use their time. And I never felt like I could do either aspects of my job like to the full potential, like the being present with the children and the parents and the people that you work with, but then also like getting the logistical things done and having things be organized and systems that make sense, that don't like have less work about work. Like let's just do the work as opposed to trying to figure out how we're going to do the work. And so I was just like, you know what? I think I just want to embrace this aspect of myself, the logistic learner and lover and organizer, and like see if I can really hone in on that without that really strong pull to like meet the needs of others. Because I think anyone who's like passionate about teaching has this like innate like desire to like meet the needs of the little people that you serve. And I think throughout that whole process I lost like myself, like listening to what my needs were. So that kind of was the journey that brought me to Soulbird. And I think that my passion and like deep love and appreciation for early childhood education really like made my soul align with like Soulbird Consulting and everything that you guys do, that we do, because early childhood is so important, and that's really my passion. It's like, I think it's just one of these frustrating situations where you found your passion, but the world is not really set up in a way that I can do it and also take care of myself. And I hope that the world is changing to make early childhood education more sustainable for the teachers and the assistants. And also, I mean, not just in the workload, but the actual pay. You know, we need to get paid more and valued more in society. And so I believe that Soulbird is aligned with that that journey, what we're spreading the news is how important those years are. So I think it's coming, but
Yeah.
it's still a journey.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's interesting for me, and I think helpful even to hear your story and your journey again. Right, I know these bits and pieces, but I'm reminded that what has been so amazing and impactful for Soulbird is not just your skill set at the logistics and the back end work, but you do have a passion for that as well, right? I see you get excited. You teach us things. You train us on different systems that you're creating. But it's funny for me to know that part of you, and there's a front facing part of you as well. There's a part of you that loves to be with kids and loves to nurture and coach other adults and teachers. And so I'm curious for you, you have this great impact in the work that we do. I've been saying for a while, I just want to do my job, but somebody else figure out all this other shit, which you get to do, thank goodness, right? But what is it like for you to play this kind of role, to know you're having that impact, but it's a little more indirect? Do you still find passion in that? How does that fuel you, if you will?
Well, wow, I think that at first I think the biggest impact is not having this outlet for like my like wacky, like childlike energy. So I think what I found is just finding other ways to get that need met. But like my husband will tell you, like when I get this chart, a chart I'm working on organized exactly how I want it, I'm like, what? Like I cheer myself on a lot, and I'm always like so excited to learn new things that really like when I master a skill that I've taught myself, or when I discover a way that we can organize something and cut down on your time, my time, Patrice's time, and we can focus on something else, like that really builds me up, and that gives me that little extra, that's like the equivalent of like that hug from a kid when they're like, I love you, teacher Glenna. And I think, yeah, pairing that with just finding other ways to like embrace my goofy side and have that be a part of my everyday life. And I get to be goofy with you, so that's always really fun. That's fun. But I think at first that was definitely hard to not have that balance figured out. Because when it's such a big part of your life, like it's crazy how hard it is to embrace your childlike self outside of the classroom. Like there's so many, they're gonna think I'm weird, they're gonna think I'm crazy, like I have to be mature, I have to be an adult. But really, like when I'm with those kids in the classroom, like that's when I feel like I'm like truly in my flow, in my joy, and I can be exactly who I am, and they're gonna love me or they're gonna hate me, but they're going to accept me for who I am. And so I think I've also tried to surround myself with people that I can be myself around, so that I can feel that sense of, oh, it's okay to be goofy and silly and wacky. Yeah. Well, and we appreciate and love those parts of you, and I think that's what has made me so excited to find you so randomly, right? You weren't a friend of a friend, you weren't in the network, and to find someone who embodies playfulness, relationality, people first, right? That's a really those are unique qualities to find, especially in a back of house person, right? You're working in the back of house, the right term, but administrative, right? You're not out front teaching. You're helping us with our logistics side. And sometimes those characteristics don't always mesh, right? Or we feel more compartmentalized. But I feel like we've tried to create a space even before you got here, where the whole person, everyone on our team, the whole person is really invited and welcomed, and that you bring in that relational energy to consults or to client intake meetings. That's what makes you, I think, value add to Soulbird. Not just your charts, right? Of course, those are helpful. Of course, all the templates in the organization, that's helped really streamline our work. But you're able to bring your personality as well, and
we want that and we value that. But also what I'm hearing is I think when we're in this, the world is changing and in a lot of ways, but valuing more work-life balance, valuing all the parts of ourselves, not just our productive part, right? I think is becoming more accepted. What are the things that you do to keep your bucket full outside of Soulbird time, right? You offer us an amount of your time, but you also show up in the world in all kinds of ways. So what are the things that you are engaged in and with that really help you stay joyful, playful, etc.?
Well, it's funny. But before I answer that question, I wanted to mention one more thing about the previous question, which is I think too, I get to be creative in my position
Mm,
in a way that does tap into that aspect of being a preschool teacher. You really have to think on your toes and be
mm,
creative.
mhm.
So I love, just little things like putting in bird puns in the newsletter,
Yes, those are the best.
finding a GIF or whatever.
Yeah.
Or oh, I want to design this post like this, or
Mhm,
it maybe to someone else that wouldn't be as like exciting, but like for me, I feel like I'm able to be creative
mhm,
and open, and you and the team that are open to my me embracing those creative
mhm, mhm.
ideas that I get. So that was just a little add on to that. But so um, the funny thing is actually, I don't know if you guys know about Asana, but
Plug.
um, I'm not sponsored by them, but hey,
Yeah,
Asana, if you're listening, I can be your sponsor because I literally
you
talk
really
about
can.
Asana. But actually, so Asana is this, you can Google it, but maybe I'll put a link in the
Nice,
description.
nice.
Um, it's just like a tool to organize lists, various types of lists that you want and
Mhm,
tasks and stuff. So I actually started using that in my own personal life.
mhm.
Um, and it's been like a total game changer. And what
Mm,
I've done is I've taken all the things, all of like my like long term, like when I envision my life, like what is the type of person that I want to be? How do I want to
mm,
live in terms of the thoughts that I have, the way I
mm,
treat myself, like with my internal thoughts and the way I treat my body and like the way that I interact with others. And so I basically did like this period of reflection and mapped out all of the different goals that I had for myself. And then I went like baby steps. Like what are the baby steps that I can do to like get to that point? Um,
mhm.
and for me, every day I get to check off the little, I did this like one tiny little thing that
Yes.
is a part of this bigger goal, but I don't have to be burdened about,
Mm,
oh no, like I'm not meeting this goal or trying to have unrealistic expectations. But I've been like through this process of every day working a tiny step towards a larger goal. I feel my confidence growing. I feel my happiness growing. And even little things I'll put in there, like reach out to a friend,
mhm,
call or text someone. Things that
mhm,
like I know make me happy, but for many years those things were pushed to the side. So now
mhm.
it's like, and it's probably not going to work for everyone. It's probably working for me because I'm a like organizer and logistical type person. So I love lists. But I basically approached joy in a
Mhm.
very logistical way. Like, and then
That's great.
I assess it, hey, I think it's time to maybe make this one a little bit more challenging and up it up a little bit. I'm
Mhm,
getting this one done and I don't even think about it anymore. Like it's now turned into a habit.
mhm, mm,
So basically these are like exercising, listening to music, doing some sort of mindfulness thing. And like, I kind of like for that one, for example, this is a good example of like breaking it down. Because I think for me, one of the things I struggle with is these like ruminating thoughts, just like my brain
mm,
like constantly thinking about what could go wrong, what someone else is going to think about me. And so, like I know meditation is like amazing, but I like really don't like meditating at all. And so I was like, what are some other things that are like in the realm of meditation that I can do that can help me meet that goal? So what I do is I go for long walks and I listen to a podcast or I listen to some music, and I just kind of like tune out from my brain thinking about random stuff, and I'm just thinking about one thing, like that podcast that I'm listening to or the music that I'm listening to. And then, once a week I'll try and do like a 5-minute like meditation. But the expectation is not that I'm doing that every day. I'm working up to it. And so I found that to be really effective. And it's been amazing. And the days that I forget to like check Asana, I can tell, like I can feel like unregulated in some way.
Yeah.
Then the hard part will be like, getting off of Asana, because like I don't know, like is that healthy to be like addicted to an app on your phone?
To your project management, your personal project management software. Yeah.
Well, down the line, not there yet.
Yeah. I love that. What people who don't know Asana don't know is that when you click something off, a little magical unicorn or ferret flies across the screen. So it's good dopamine hits every single time you get something there. I love that, Glenna. And I love that when I asked you about what are you personally passionate about, you brought it back to the logistics piece, which I think, again, what makes you one of the biggest gifts to Soulbird, because you don't lack in either. You don't lack in passion and purpose and personality or the professional logistical aspect. And it's just, you're such a gift. I'm also thinking about, our last newsletter, our last Walking Together really inspired the theme of long haul work, right? That our work, we're not going to see overnight changes. We're not going to see overnight shifts. And especially our role as trainers, right? We're really care for the caregivers. We're supporting the people. So we sometimes never see the impact of our work. I think similar to a teacher, right? You love on the young people, the 3, 4, 5 years old. And when they're 30, they might recall, dang, Glenna was the safest person and the most playful. That meant something to me, but they might not call you or reach out, right? So I think this theme, I'm hearing baby steps, right? We're committed to this long haul work. You're committed to personal growth. I hear it. Your mental health, your physical health, just your self-talk, right? All those paradigm shifts sometimes. But you said we connected it back to Asana, but you said baby steps. You said there's little bits of the pieces of the pie you bite off every day. And if you think about those baby steps and you think about how you're going to orient those, where do we find you in 5 years? Where do we find you in 10 years? What are those small steps leading towards when you have that larger vision ahead?
Well, I think one of the biggest ones for me is like listening and finding my own voice and my own path. Because the truth is, I don't know what 5 years from now will look like. But what I'm hoping is that I will know, like that would be the greatest thing, is I think building on my self-confidence and embracing new skills and all the work that I'm doing for myself, and then also all these new things I'm learning working for Soulbird. I think it's all part of this journey. And to me, I don't really know what the destination is, but I know that all of these things are part of something that is going to someday make sense. Because even when I think about all the steps that brought me up to this moment, were all things that needed to happen for me to be the person that I am right here, right now. But I think what I'd love is to find a way to work with children again in a way that's sustainable for me, and that I can continue to hold these habits that I'm building for myself, while also working and having that strong pull to like give everything you have to these kids. It's like, okay, wait, slow down, balance. And I would love, I feel like if that job was sustainable in terms of pay and workload, I would be like so happy, like just to be a preschool teacher for the rest of my life.
Yeah, love it.
But I also feel like, I don't know, I think it'd be cool. I'm like missing the logistics part too. So
yeah.
There's some position out there that it has both and gives me time to do both of them. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm also curious too. Like I've been really into learning more about like campaign management, digital marketing campaigns, and web design and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe my life will turn on another route. But whatever it is, you know, that strong sense of self is what I really would like to get to. And that I would follow that no matter, you know, where I am in life. Just follow what I hear in myself.
Beautiful. The knowing will come. We hope to be knowing you every step of that journey as well, and be flapping with you along into the future. But I really appreciate not just your time and your courage to show up for this, Glenna, but I want to leave us with that message that when we get to know that inner self, when we cultivate that inner voice and really listen to it and partner with it, the journey will unfold, and we will get to those outcomes or those endpoints that fulfill us and get to use our gifts in a way that feels really good. So thanks for that reminder. Thanks for chatting with me and all of us who are watching, and we'll see you on the email and all the other ways you use to support us.
See you on the interwebs.
Yes. Thanks, Glenna.
Bye.
Bye.